Master Advanced Practitioner in NLP Coaching and Hypnotherapy, and also practitioner of IEMT. And my thing is humans who are stuck, but more on that a little bit. So today I would like to share two things with you. Firstly, my health transformation story, which is my why. And then I'm going to share my very brief takeaway of 2 questions to create positive change, which really is a powerful and a quick way of enabling oneself to move from a negative stuck loop to a positive forward-moving place. I'll also be offering a very brief explanation of NLP and the very one that is neuroplasticity, which is 2 of my most favourite things to talk about. And I'll be letting you into the following very big secret: how your brilliant brain is always listening. Let's begin with. I'm going to tell you a very long story, very short, that will take me and you from a wheelchair to rock climbing to mindset coaching. So if you were to meet me today, you would most likely assume that I am fit and healthy and really living my life, and you would be very right to assume those things. If you had met me prior to May 2016, however, you would have met a currently unrecognisable version of myself. In 1992, at the age of 17, I became chronically ill, and 2 years later was diagnosed with what's known as ME and also fibromyalgia. I then went on to spend the following 24 years, predominantly bedbound, often in a wheelchair, and from time to time on medication like morphine and Valium for things like chronic bone, skin, joint, muscle pain, extreme cognitive fatigue, extreme physical fatigue, and very intense light and sound sensitivities. These really were my most, unquestionably, my most challenging years. Now, I don't have a photograph of myself in a wheelchair, as that was something I never would have allowed. I've never experienced an anger like I felt in that chair, so there was never going to be that smile for the camera moment. So instead, I've created a visual representation, again, to try and convey the grim reality of those years, and I believe it says it all. So while you look at these images, I'd like you to also try to imagine being a healthy, vibrant 17-year-old with your whole life ahead of you. And now suddenly overnight, this is your reality. And you don't know that it's going to take you 24 years before you find the answer that will give you your life back. Well, this was my reality. One day I was a healthy teenager at the start of my A-level studies with that dream of becoming a rock climbing instructor, and by now living in Canada with my Kylie dog, that I'm very happy to say I'm in North Wales at the foot of Edinburgh. The next, due to having a particularly bad flu virus and extremely nasty, because it really is a wonder for me that this slide only exists because of my brain's amazing ability to change. That's it. And for me, that's thank you neuroplasticity. Yeah. So after 24 years of chronic illness, I woke up healthy at 41 years old, and I've had a lot of catching up to do. Therefore, the last 7 years have looked, have sounded, and have felt like rock climbing, mountain biking, living in my van, travelling, probably done a very, very busy job as a duty manager for a while in the Clanberis youth hostels, making 40 bunk beds in the morning all by myself, cooking breakfast for 40 kids, rock climbing in the afternoon, and then making breakfast dinner for 40 kids in the evening, day after day after day. I don't do that anymore, this is what I now do. But yeah, and there was a time not so long ago when making a cup of tea would have triggered immense pain and exhaustion and put me back in bed, or I wouldn't have even been able to do it. So for me, now to be able to do all of the above, not just for one day, but for 7 years straight, with no payback and no symptoms, is a truly remarkable and beautiful reality in which I now live. Again, thank you, NLP.